This is the Dominican Republic. It is my country. It's a beautiful place with beautiful people. But like any place in the world, it is home to people who struggle to find food, basic needs, and who struggle to raise a family. In April of 2015, a group of friends and co-workers came to spend time in parts of this country that most outsiders never see. I want to tell you the story of their visit. The love and support that they brought to our fellow Dominicans is helping to change lives for the better. From the hotel in the heart of Santo Domingo, the group began their first day in the town known as Waley. It is here that Compassion International operates one of its 160 child development centers in the Dominican Republic. On a day when sponsors come to visit, the mothers and children get very excited. What a warm welcome they received. This Child Survival Program, or CSP, serves mothers and their babies and young children. You could tell that they were expecting visitors, and they had prepared a wonderful program. There were smiles and laughter as we sang songs and clapped. You could close your eyes and hear the sweet songs of the children. It is really not that different from children anywhere. The American team spent time among the mothers, serving them snacks and playing games with the kids. It was nice for the mothers to have a little break. For many of them, there is no father at home. They rely on the CSP to teach them important skills on raising their children. They also rely on the support of sponsors to send money and letters each month. You will hear more about that later in the trip. After a delicious Dominican lunch, the team took a walk down to the river. In Waley, everyone is poor. But there are different levels of poor. In the quiet of a sunny April afternoon, you could hear the footsteps as we descend the steep stairs toward the river. The sound of roosters and the smell of trash was all around as glimmers of the sunlight flickered through the trees.
Everything here, and we are like
Most of the children had clothes, but someone did not. The people who live here lack basic things. In the daylight, it's easy to see the extreme condition in which they are living. But imagine when night falls. There are gangs and drugs, and very few police. Mothers must huddle with their children, afraid that if they leave their dwelling, even the walls and the furniture might be stolen. The church serves an important role in this neighborhood. That is Pastor Pablo. He spends a lot of time walking and serving in this community. Even the gangs respect him because they respect the Bible, God, and Jesucristo or Jesus Christ. Pablo says that the only way a gang will let a person live is if they have a start to follow Jesus. We split into groups to get a closer look at the homes where people are living. This mother lives down by the river. She says that a few times per year the river will flood. The water comes so high that it reaches the top of her refrigerator. In the flood, she loses everything, but she comes back and starts over again. This blue house once was home to a mother named Jenny, along with her 4 children. The father was not around too much. She said that sometimes at night, crabs would come out of the river and bother her family while they were sleeping. Life for Jenny has changed thanks to God. He brought generous sponsors from BTI360 to help her climb the stairs away from the river. Together, BTI360 and Compassion built Jenny's family a new house.
You make the local every time when I want.
She has a kitchen, 2 bathrooms, a bathroom, and room for a table. She cooks every night and doesn't worry anymore about the floods or the crabs. The children look so happy. Their faces lit up when the team presented them with a baseball, crayons, paint, and a blank canvas. Her daughters love to paint. You can see how God is already painting a new future and hope for them. From the urban poverty we saw in Gualey, the next day was a chance for the team to visit a place in the country. The bus drove to Los Assises de San Cristóbal, a village where Compassion has another center. The center welcomes other kids either before or after school each day. Many of these kids walk with their mothers several miles to get here. Our team brought balls, gloves, bubbles, and other toys. We played. You don't have to speak the same language to know how to throw a ball to each other. Some of these kids might have a pretty good future in baseball. One of the biggest problems in a place like Los Assises is water. Clean water is hard to find. Without access to water, the families have more sickness. The mothers have to go farther to get the water, which is more time that they have to spend each week just to take care of their family. Without clean water, a family is almost guaranteed to stay in poverty. And that is if they survive. Compassion International is fixing this problem. The team from BTI360 got to see the progress on a brand new water purification system. The work is made possible by the funds from their company. The purification center is being built right next to the church. When it is finished in a few months, it will provide clean water access to the entire village. Back in Wale, we got to see a similar facility, so we know how it will look. Water is collected, cleaned, and then put into bottles for each family. Some of the mothers will eventually be able to sell the water themselves, giving them jobs and another source of income. This part of the trip was special because several in our group got to meet their sponsor children. We don't know who was more excited, the sponsors or the children.
You like to play? Oh yeah? Vamos.
Usually, when sponsors come to visit children, they don't get to visit the children in their own homes. On this trip, we split up and got to spend time in the homes of 4 of the sponsor kids. This mother has 6 people living in the house. Her husband has a job loading bottles into trucks. There is only one bathroom and it is outside.
Nice. Muy bonito. Yeah. Muy bien.
Her daughter recently had to spend 20 days in the hospital after a kitchen accident left her with burns all over her body. Imagine having your teenage daughter in the hospital an hour away with the rest of your kids at home and no car to drive back and forth. Here's another home with a mother, father, and their active little boy. He runs, smiles, and jumps on the bed like any other boy his age.
How do you say energy? Energia.
His parents pay rent each month, which gives them a roof over their heads. They share one bathroom with 4 other families. The father works as a motorcycle delivery man. He buys gasoline for his bike every day, but he never fills it up. He just buys gas until he runs out of money. After 2 days of visiting the towns where Compassion works, it was time to have a fun day back at the hotel. Our entire group invaded the pool at our hotel and had a great day. It is good to be a kid. You get to toss your cares and worries aside and just enjoy the present. It was a great time. If the fun day at the pool was about living the present, then our last dinner was a time to peek into the future. We heard from 2 young men who had grown all the way up through Compassion's program.
Something very important is when you receive that letter from your sponsor.
They had a difficult childhood, but after the love and support of their sponsors, a good education, and the hope they have in Jesucristo, the sky is the limit. Then it was my turn to talk.
Hello, good evening.
That's me.
My name is Julacey. Julacey is Samboy. I am 21 years old.
I told the group how important it is for them to send letters to their sponsor children.
English and
It might be the only time that they hear that someone loves them and cares about them.
wanted to succeed in life because I see a potential in you.
I also said that after being told as a young girl that I would never amount to anything, I am now studying to become a doctor in my country. I am going to get to help other people just like my sponsors helped me. This was an important trip in many ways. It was important to the American group because it showed them what true poverty is like. It showed them what can happen when a child is loved, fed, and taught how to have dreams for their life. It was also an important trip for the people in the Dominican Republic. For many of these kids, they get very few hugs, very few mentions of the words "te amo" or "I love you." The ones who have a sponsor will always look forward to their letters and maybe one day a visit. Remember Pablo from the Wale neighborhood? Someone asked him, what is the best thing a group can bring to the Dominican Republic? Is it gift? Is it help on a project? Or is it service in the community? Pastor said all of these are important, but the best thing is love. When you come to our country and spend time with the children, you show them that they have a future. And that is worth much more than any gift.